started playing music in the family first, Grandma?
I think Paul.
When was that?
Well, I'll tell you.
That was when he was pretty young.
For Christmas one year,
Mm-hmm.
Butchie wanted a guitar.
Yeah.
So Dad goes out and buys him a acoustic guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted a rock guitar. And you know he wouldn't pick it and touch, do nothing with it. So they slept on the third floor of the house, and Paul picked it up.
Oh.
And Paul, when he started playing, and he played by ear.
Oh, wow.
And you know, every night I could hear him. Their bedroom was above ours, and he would play blues something. One song. Every night the same song over and over. And he picked it up, and when he was like a teenager in high school, he and a couple of little guys got together and made a little rock band.
Oh, wow.
And they would play, and we owned a cottage out in the park, and one night they said, they were going to have dances, and I said, well, the boys will play. And they came out, and they played music for that park, and that started it.
Wow.
And them with their little rock bands. God.
Now, what did that kind of bring to the family when they started doing that?
Well, nobody else but Mary Ann played the piano until she got married, and she didn't know piano anymore.
Yeah.
And but Paul took to the music.
Mm-hmm. Now, did Vince pick it up from Dad, or?
Then Vince, I don't know how Vince ever picked it up, but he played guitar. I don't remember how Vince ever started. I really don't remember. But anyway, he was better than Paul, I think. As a teenager, Vincey was really good. Well, music was different then.
Yeah.
It was different. And he went for this hard electric guitar. And he joined a little band, and by golly, he took off. And went on. And when he got out of school, went 1 year to college, and he says, well, it's either music or art. It can't be both. I'm taking music.
Wow.
So that's how he started.
Wow.
He played. Oh, well. Anyway, that's how he started with doing music. And he got pretty good.
Well, you could say that.
Did you ever hear any of Vince's tapes?
Yeah, I did.
I got a box full upstairs.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You can all get those out, too.
Listen to them. Oh, there's something. I can't give them away. Sometimes I play them. But this is good. Your dad did that. I know he did that.
Cool.
This is the guitar.
And Grandma, when did you guys get this house?
In 1950, maybe 53.
Wow. What was it like? I mean, and you bought this house from someone who was already in the family?
Dad's mother and father, my in-laws. They owned it. They lived up on the other side of Madisonville, and they wanted to move. She wanted a dining room. Grandma always wanted a dining room, and she belonged to in the way back. People played cards, and the ladies would have little cards. Once a week they'd play cards. And she says, I have no place to serve the ladies except in the living room or the kitchen, see? So she said, I want a dining. So they found this house down here and moved down here.
When was that?
It was about oh my goodness. Could have been in, well, they were here about 17 years.
Wow.
Say from 1950 back.
17 1933.
33. Well, let's see, we were married in 38, and they were still living up there. They come down here maybe 1940.
Okay.
About 1940, they moved down here in this house.
Okay.
And the girls were all of them were still in school, going to school, and of course Bob and I got married in 38. And the mother was real happy here, and they were in here 10 years or more, and she had a stroke, and she didn't live long. She died.
Oh, wow.
She was only 59.
Oh, man.
She
Sad.
died. It was sad, yeah.
And that was your mother?
No, it was Bob's mother.
Bob's mother.
Yeah, she was a chick. And then Dad lived here, and they had a daughter got married, and they put Mother's bedroom downstairs, and Blanche and her husband lived upstairs. They took the second floor and stayed here. And a year and a half later, Grandpa died.
Oh.
They died that close together. So.
Wow.
And the kids, all the other kids owned a house, except the one that lived here. And so they bought a home, and this was going up for sale. And Dad says, "Well, let's move in the family home." So, because we already had 5 kids.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
So we moved in here, and we were here.
Now, you moved in with 5 kids? Is there that many bedrooms?
Yeah, there was like 4 on the second floor.
Yeah.
And the third floor has 2.
Wow.
2, and then these 3 rooms down here, and we used every one of them. And then when my mother was married to my stepfather, they were married, and his son lived in California, so in the winter, they would go to Los Angeles and live with Frank.
Oh, wow.
And then in the summer, they'd come back and stay with us. So Dad and I used to sleep in the living room and gave Mom and my dad the bedroom. And that little back room back there, I think we made it into a kitchen. And they had a sink and a place to cook and everything. They had their own kitchen and bedroom.
On the second floor?
On the second floor,
wow.
Yeah. So the girls had bunk beds and the third floor and that little front room, and we slept in every room.
So then, so I guess what happened when you guys had more kids?
Well, then my mother and them were gone.
Yeah.
They were gone, and Mary Ann was married. Mary Ann got married, and
Sure.
she was gone, and then Mom and Pop lived with us until Vince was born. Vince, or what was it, Missy Brown?
Clarence and Nanny did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, until Vince was born, and
Wow.
I don't remember. They used to go back and forth to California all the time,
What was it like with such a full house like that?
Well, I tell you, you wash and iron. And my mother was a big help. I really couldn't have done all that I had to do with. Well, I could have, but I might not be here today. She was a big help. They never had a home, my mother and my stepfather.
Yeah.
See, my father was gone a long time. Since I was about 13, Pop was gone. Clarence, he was gone.
Yeah.
And then my mother was single a long time, and she married Frank Pritchard, and he was my stepdad.
They never had a home.
No, they never had. They used to rent different places, but they never had a home. And then they'd travel back and forth.
It's a good life.
Yeah, they had a life. So, well.
It must have been, this house must have been pretty busy.
Yeah,
you two sleeping? Did you have a bed down here, or did you sleep
No,
on
I had
a
a
couch?
big couch and it opened up to a queen size bed.
Okay.
And of course, Mom and Pritchard, they were always upstairs, and they had a little kitchen in the back, And at nighttime, they usually spent their time upstairs or either went in bed. They never stayed a lot downstairs.
Yeah.
And
now, would the kids and
No.
you'd all come down here, or what would be happening with?
well, the kids would be around the house or out in the yard, or we always ate in the dining. We ate in here at a big table, and then they went to bed early. They'd go to bed early, and
Yeah.
anyway, at night it was time to go to bed. You kids go on up and get ready for bed, Then he'd go upstairs where Mom and Pritchard were, and his name was Pritchard, and we called him Pritch, my stepdad. So anyway, they'd go upstairs, and Mom would cook them rolled oats, and she'd cook them cereal and anything they want before they went to bed. Go to bed, Look upstairs.
But you guys ate dinner every single night around the table in here?
Either in here or in the kitchen, yeah.
Wow.
And we'd cook. Mom did her own cooking upstairs, but I always cooked. And like we always said, our dad worked 2 jobs. He'd work in the grocery till 8 in the morning until 6 at night, and come home and eat something. Maybe he'd go out. He tended bar out at the bowling alley.
Who, Clarence did, or?
No, my Bob,
Oh,
my
Bob.
husband. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
Almost 3 or 4 nights a week, except Saturday and Sunday. But he had to work the grocery on Saturday,
Yeah.
but he didn't work at the bar.
Wow.
But he worked 2 jobs all the time.
Yeah. Pay for the whole family.
Well, I
and
guess
put food
so,
on the
yeah.
table.
We were never hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Never hungry. No.
And you and Grandpa get to spend a lot of time together?
Well, yeah. We never went places much, you know.
Yeah.
Hardly. He did a lot of church work. He'd go down to meetings and when he was home. And then the company went sold to another company.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like a southern company bought this northern supermarket chain. And they said, well, the managers up here make too much money. And Dad said, baloney. You can't compare us to managers in South, because they came out of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, no way. If you're going to do that, I'm leaving. And he applied for a job in a factory, and they made him buyer because he was so used to buying.
Oh.
They made him buyer in a metal company.
Oh.
Didn't know a thing about metal. So he went down to some night class and took, what do you call it, metallurgy? Or,
Yeah, metallurgy.
okay. He went down to the college and took some courses in metal and studied about copper, brass, and aluminum. And they hired him down here at this company.
Wow.
And he was buyer for the company. I said, you got to hand it to him. He had a good brain. He had a good brain. So he stayed there a few years, and finally he retired and just quit working.
Yeah.
Yeah.